In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Erector Spinae group. In this group, there's actually three muscles that run along the length of the spine. They attach up at the top, connecting to sort of all the 12 ribs, as well as the spinous processes of the thoracic vertebrae. And they go all the way down the back, all the way to L4, L5, connecting in there, and then along the sacrum and the iliac crest. So you can see an image right here. And the pain pattern for this is all along the length of the spine, so kind of local to where the attachments are and where the muscle is, which you can see here. So we're going to be working on doing a little bit of strengthening and stretching into this muscle to help release any pain or tension that you might feel there. Hope you enjoy the video. So we won't need any props or anything for this video, just yourself. So let's come on to our hands and knees to begin with. So just placing the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and really simply we're going to come through a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So this is going to get into all of those, the length of that muscle. So as you breathe in, you lift the tailbone, allow the belly to drop down, draw the chest forward and through. Really lift and soften through the jaw. And then as you exhale, round out through the lower back. Just taking it nice and slow for the couple first rounds, and then we can speed it up a little bit. Just really trying to sense and feel through the whole length of that muscle. Breathing in, tailbone lifts, belly drops down, just feeling that nice sequential movement. And already you might be able to tune into any places where you feel tension or where you feel a little bit more open. So just becoming just a little bit more aware of your body, movements, rounding. As you breathe in this time, really lift up through the tailbone. Draw chest towards the ground, and then see if you could sort of slide the shoulder blades back and down towards your hips as though you're bringing them into your back pockets. And lift the head slightly. And then rounding out. This time press the hips slightly forward towards your armpits, so you're making a little bit more of an active stretch. And then we're going to just alternate coming back and forth through these two movements, just in sort of either rhythm with your own breath or a little bit faster. Just try to get a little bit of movement and warmth to help the slip and glide processes of those muscles. And then just coming back to a neutral space, tuck the toes under, sink the hips back so you get like a little spring-loaded sort of preparation for lifting the knees and sending the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. From here, let's just take a little time to warm up through the backs of the legs. So gently lifting and lowering, opposite heels. Try to have an even sense of weight down through each hand. And even weight through the back as well, so the weight isn't just down and forward, it's also moving back. You don't wear out your strength through the arms, and you just feel nicely balanced through front and back body. Good. Okay, then as you breathe in, lift both heels away from the ground, if this feels okay. Then as you exhale, imagine some of these taking hold of the backs of your heels and gently drawing them down and back towards the earth. Then hold here for a couple of breaths. Just see if you can find a little bit more length through the back. You may be able to soften your ribs slightly in towards the body, so you get a little bit more sort of stretching out through the muscles down the back line of the body. And think of the connection as well. All these muscles have, so connecting into that sacrum, lower back space, and then moving down the sitting bones. You can imagine this whole back line of the body is sort of connected and stretching out. Okay, on your next in-breath, gently allow the right leg to lift up, just floating up, and just continue to feel that connection. So that reach through the heel is also lengthening out through the rest of the back. And then as you exhale, you're going to either bend your left knee a little bit so you can bring your right knee forward and step it in between the hands. Lower your left knee to the earth softly. And then gently come up into a kneeling lunge. So relax the shoulders away from the ears. Just take a moment here, just kind of lengthening. Okay, and then as you inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Take the hands to the back of the head. So you're sort of cupping the back of the head. Take an in-breath, lift your left ribs high. We're going to tip over to the left-hand side. Take a couple more breaths here. Just feeling that nice stretch down the side. Inhale, come back through to center. Release the hands, gently bring them all the way down to the earth. Tuck your left toes under, lift the left knee, and step back into your downward facing dog. If you need to, take a little moment here again just to re-establish yourself. Feet are hip distance apart, even weight through the legs, the arms. And then on your next in-breath, feel the left leg gently float up. Reaching, lengthening, doesn't need to go too high. Try to almost keep it at the same level as your hip if you can. And then a little bend into your right knee so you can start to bring that left leg forward, step it lightly. Land your right knee to the ground. Lift up. So just coming to sort of settle here. Shoulders stacking over the hips first. Feel a little bit of buoyancy and space in front of the hips. And then inhale, take the arms all the way up. Gently cup the back of the head with the hands. Lift through your right ribs first. You feel that lift and lengthen. And then side bend to the opposite side. Keep the chest opening a little bit more towards the ceiling rather than collapsing down, so we can get into those muscles along that side of the spine. So you feel a gentle sort of compressing here on the left side and lengthening through the opposite side. And inhale, come back up through to center. Gently release the hands all the way down. Lift the right knee so you can step back with the left, coming back to your downward facing dog position. Take a couple breaths here, just feeling that length again through the back of the body, ribs soften in. See if you can get a little bit active through the inner legs, almost feel like drawing up and in towards the pelvis. And then we're going to start to walk the feet forward, so just take your time with it. Maybe to bend your knees as you come a little bit closer to the hands, or keep the legs straight all the way to the top. Take a little breath in, lift and lengthen, reaching crown of the head forward, finding a little bit of space and length. You might even slide the hands up onto the shins so you can lift a little bit higher. Ribs soften in, get that sense of length through the spine. And then feel the pelvis tip forward, so you may need to bend the knees a little bit to draw the chest down over the thighs. Forehead towards the shins. Again, we're thinking about that whole back chain of the body, gently stretching out, lengthening. And then gently release, bending into the knees. Feel a sense of pressing down through the feet. Allow the hands to be heavy, the head to be heavy. And slowly starting to rise all the way up to standing. Draw the shoulders up towards the ears, gently soften them down the back. Do a couple rounds just like that. Releasing. Good. And then just bring your attention down to the feet. Spread the toes nice and wide. Feel them sort of stabilize down into the ground. Feel an even sense of weight through the front and back of your foot and a soft bend in your knees. So you feel kind of buoyant there. And then inhale, take the arms up, reach up. You might look towards the thumbs, lengthen, 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 almost like you're trying to really stretch those muscles from where they attach at the bottom to where they attach at the top. And then exhale, we'll fold forward once again, feel the pelvis sort of tip forward, get a little bit more length. As you come down, chest comes closer to the thighs, forehead to the shins. Remember to bend the knees if you feel any overt sense of pulling or stretching too much. Hands to the earth. And then we'll step back. Lower all the way down to your knees. Once again, so we're back in this tabletop position. And then from there, press your left hip forward. Look towards that left hip so you get a little stretch through the side of the body. Take 3 breaths here. In through the nose. Out through the nose. In through the nose. And out through the nose. And then gently back through to center. We'll go to the other side. Pressing the right hip forward and looking towards that right hip. So just really feel this sort of stretch through the left side this time. Gentle firming action through the right side. Breathing in for 3. 2. And 1. Gently come back through to center. Okay, sit the hips all the way back towards the heels, and then we'll sit over onto one hip and extend the legs out in front. Okay, from here, take a generous bend into your knees, and then bring your hands to the inside of your legs. Wrap the arms around and under, and then allow your forehead to drop down and forward. You can alternatively do this on a chair. Few more deep breaths into the belly here, so really allow the weight of the head to sort of stretch all those muscles that support the spine. Okay, and then slowly release the hands. We'll come all the way up, back to seated. And then we're going to come down onto the back, so adjust yourself so that you have enough mat behind you. Gently lower yourself, supporting yourself as you come down. And we're just going to do a few lifting and lowering of the lower back space. So as you breathe in, feel the arch of your back really become a little bit more pronounced so that it lifts away from the ground and the belly sort of rises up. And then as you exhale, allow the muscles to feel as though they're softening down towards the ground. So rather than sort of pushing or lifting the hips to get this action, imagine it as a kind of softening of those back muscles. As you breathe in, there's a soft lift, so you arch into the lower back. And as you exhale, a soft lower down. And we're going to hold for the count of 5 now. So feel relaxed but softened and level with the earth. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently breathe in, feel the belly rise. Softly, maybe even into the hands if that feels comfortable. And then again, as you exhale, allow the muscles to soften down towards the earth. Remember, relax the hips so the glutes are not active. And holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Breathe in once again. Feel the belly rise. And last one. Gently soften the back muscles towards the earth. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Just come back through to neutral space. Just take a moment to feel into those back muscles. Maybe gently feeling there's a slight sense of relief there, or more openness or softness, even just through your intention. Maybe even closing the eyes for a few moments. if you're ready, gently roll onto your side. Press the ground away as you slowly lift yourself back up through to seated. Taking another just moment of stillness to connect with your body, your breath. A little bit of gratitude. All the amazing things your body does for you. I thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below. I'm happy to answer and be in touch.